All right, I'm going to talk about how to calculate negative ease when working with a pattern made for spandex fabrics, because spandex fabrics are extremely stretchy, so you don't want them to be your exact body measurement or else they won't fit properly. Especially when working with swimwear and athletic wear, you really want the pattern to be smaller than your personal measurements because this fabric is extremely stretchy. So it's quite easy to adjust a pattern to make sure that it is the correct measurements to fit your body. So let's, for example, take a waist measurement of 29 inches. So I'm going to jot that in a piece of paper, 29 inches. And right here I have a pattern for an athletic tank top that I want to fit snugly. I don't want it to be baggy, I want it to stretch across my body. All right, now I'm going to take my waist measurement of 29 inches and divide it by 4, which is 7.25 inches. So 7¼ inches. Now I'm going to take that measurement. So I know 1/4 of my waist measures 7¼ inches. So I need to reduce that measurement. And for spandex fabrics, I always use a base rule of 0.9. So I will take that measurement and times it by 0.9. So 7.25 times 0.9, which is equal to approximately 6.5. So now I need to make sure my waist measures 6.5 on my pattern, which is easy to do. I'm going to jot that down. And this I'm just working off the front pattern. There's probably a back one, and you would just incorporate the same measurements. So just going to take my ruler here. And I always measure out from center front because you want to go towards the side seam because you're probably going to bring in the side seam. So start, measure 1 right at your center front and mark 6.5. Like so. And then you would do the same for your bust. So let's take a bust measurement of 36 inches. I would again, 36 divided by 4 equals 9. And then you would take 9 times that by 0.9, and you get 8, approximately. And so then again, you would take in your pattern, in your bust line, measure out 8, like so. As you see, I have 2 markings. And then you do the same for your hip. Let's take hip measurement of 40 inches, and then obviously that, I don't even need a calculator for that one. That's 10, and then so 10 times 0.9 is not approximately 9 inches. So then I'd measure along my hip line 9 inches. And now as you can see, it extends across my pattern. So this, you will really make sure that you get a perfect fitting pattern. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to take my tape, I'm going to measure out 9 inches. So you really just kind of go on all your cross measurements. And obviously it's a bathing suit, you can take your torso measurement and then do that same, because you want if you're making a one-piece swimsuit, you need it to stretch across your body so it stays on, so the straps stay up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my curve and I'm gonna connect my new side seam with these measurements that are smaller than my personal measurements. It's good because they're kind of all the same equal measurement. So it's going to kind of curve a little bit. I just like to free form a line. I'm going to go up to the original underarm point. There we go. When drawing in new side seams, you really need to flip your curve up and down to get a really nice shape. Now, as you can see, my hip line's out here. So I'm going to start by free forming a line like so, and then connecting those dashes like so. So there you have it. There's your nude side seam to make an athletic tank top that is smaller than your personal measurements so that it will stretch across your body. And a quick note, because it's been sewing in spandex fabric, you will only need to add a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Don't add 5/8 because you're gonna need to use a serger to finish off that fabric, so you just need a 1/4 of an inch.